Hello, good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Happy Wednesday. Would you believe we are February the 25th today? Now, last week I said it was Sunday, but was the first match. It's actually Saturday, I think that's the first match, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's actually Sunday. No, yeah, I'm mixing myself up here. It's Saturday, Sunday. So I was writing that and I was just making sure because I'm getting confused. Because I'm used to the month having 30 days, so 31 days. It's obviously February's a shorter month. um, so yeah, it's quite insane. But yeah, we're already near March, basically. It's mad. It's madness. It really is madness that we already are here. Basically, 3 months of the year are pretty much gone. Just when you start live streaming, you tell the difference. Hello, John. Good evening. How are we doing? How's our Wednesday going? How's our week going so far? You're very welcome. I hope all is well with you. Um, So we do have a good bit to talk about, not majorly too much, but a bit. Um, we just chat among ourselves for a few minutes anyway. Hopefully that music's okay. It's not that loud on people. I shouldn't be that loud. Um, to be totally honest, I'm only really after coming back from work. Not that long in the door, but only about just before 6 there. So apologies. I'm just getting my tea now. Um, so yeah. So apologies if I'm a bit flustered and stuff like that because it is hard to get back from work and stuff because I finish at 5. Some days you get going a bit earlier, but it's hard to get back and stuff and get everything done before live streaming and stuff. Like Saturdays is usually the best because a bit more time to do things. Um, Great stuff. Um, yeah, it's quite insane what's happening in the country. I'm just looking at articles here from court, etc. Um, like this person I shared it on the community post. He has 24 previous convictions, and he's basically after walking free, after punching a young lad at 11 years old. Great stuff. The judge lets him walks free. The weather was getting you down. That's the weather in this country is just a disaster. Even though today wasn't that bad, but the last few days it's just been an almighty amount of rain. Um, and they say about climate change, etc. Because it should probably be the opposite way around. We probably should be being born out of it. But yeah, it's just tons of rain. Like they can't really say there's no water or anything because the place is just flooded. It's absolutely insane. Like I know somebody that works in the GEA, right? Like he works in the GEA, and the football pitches, all the football pitches around Cavan are just destroyed with water. Like they basically can't really do any games in the GEA pitches because they're just so flooded. There's just that much water on it. It's just insane. Like Breffney Park, it's a mess at the moment too with the water. Just tons of water. Um, but I know I didn't notice this morning when I put up that community post that this fellow had 24 previous convictions, which is quite insane when you think about it. And basically, he set off scot free. It doesn't make any sense, but sure. Disgrace. So any news with anybody else? Any news? Sorry, I'm just reading through that because, as I say, I'm really pretty much only in the door. So there's a few things going on since I looked on my Twitter feed, etc. So it must be 4 o'clock or so the last time I looked to see what was going on in the country. Um, Apparently, should have got somebody for that murder in Kerry. Do you remember the farmer that was put into his slowy tag? Well, not slowy tag, slowy spreader. Apparently, they have charged somebody with his murder. Now, they did have this fellow before he walked on the land with him. So, presumably, probably trying to get his money. That's presumably what he was trying to do. But they have him. Hopefully, they have the white fellow. They should have the white fellow because they spent a long time dilly-dallying about the guards and getting this. Even the case itself, like it was ever explained how the Gardaí never bothered to check, the slowy tank to see was he there because there were searching literally mountains and everything, but they never bothered to check on his farm the slowy tank. It never occurred to them to do that. So it was insane. That never was explained on why they never thought of doing that. Like it literally was on his farm. Like it wouldn't mind if it wasn't on his farm, but it was on his farm. and they didn't check it. And he was in the slow attack, and then the only reason how they know he was in the slow attack because they went and spread the slowy, and bits of his body came out of it. It's like you think the Gaudi would have probably checked that number one, but no. So I don't get it. Hello, Sean. How are we doing? Good evening. Good afternoon. How are we getting on this Wednesday evening? No, I was just talking about the man in Kerry. Apparently, they have somebody that arrested somebody. No, charged somebody. Sorry, not arrested. They have arrested him, but he's charged with the murder of your man. It was a good bit of land he had, but it wasn't that great of land. It was more hilly land. It was 1.2 million or something was worth. So presumably, he probably was killed because they wanted the land, they wanted the money. That's presumably because there's no other reason why they killed him. So that's presumably what he did. Now I suppose we'll wait and see what happens in court and stuff. But yeah, no, there's questions still to be asked about the Gaudi and how they didn't look. Like this serious question need to be asked about how the Gaudi didn't know about this or didn't look straight away. Serious questions. But there'll be no answers. There'll never be any answers. That's the unfortunate thing. Mighty stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. Like every time you look on social media nowadays, it's just total craziness in this country. You generally would think you live in a video game to be done as looking at social media nowadays. Like it doesn't seem real half of the stuff you're seeing, and a lot of it's not real. Like on YouTube, it's just insane. Like the majority of AI slop, it's basically everything's AI slop now on YouTube. So you don't know what's real and what's fake. It's quite insane. Like it is very bad. But obviously on Twitter, there is bots, of course, and stuff. But the majority of things you see are real things that are happening in the real world. But it's just like some of the stuff here is absolutely insane that it's happening. Yeah, we just chat among ourselves for another few minutes and then we get started on a few other things. So I want to talk about the National Children's Hospital and a few other things. So yeah. You could have come on tonight, Sean. I always mean to like tell you and stuff, but you could have come on. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? It's getting warmer and warmer. Summers will be here in no time. Well, I don't know at the moment. It's not really going to get warmer yet. Like it's just been miserable. Like the last few weeks, it's just been constant rain. It's just been damp and miserable. So I don't know. It depends. Like last summer wasn't that great. The summer beforehand was good, but this year wasn't that great. It was okay, but it wasn't great. But in 2023, I feverishly remember that was very good summer. But I don't know. It depends, I suppose, this year. Like in the United States, speaking of the weather, the United States isn't having a great. There's a huge snowstorm in New York and Washington, etc. So it's not great. But I suppose only time will tell. But I don't know. But it's been an awful amount of rain, like an awful amount of rain. But I hope you're well, Cat. Sorry, dyslexia just destroys me sometimes. I hope we're doing well. I hope we're having a good Wednesday and a good week, of course, too. Give me a moment. So just looking through Twitter here, making sure there's nothing else happening because usually when I'm not paying attention, something happens. What did I get involved land over a year ago? Yeah, there's a serious amount of people being killed on the roads too. Like it's quite insane. Thankfully, they got the man in Cavan that hit the girl and stuff and injured his passenger in the car. We talk about that in a sec, but thankfully they've got him. So I'm happy that they got him. Now, will he be sentenced to prison for a long time? I don't know. So we have to wait and see. But there's a serious matter. There was a girl killed in Mead too. A 16-year-old girl was killed, knocked down and killed, and then hit and one too. In fairness to the fellow that killed her, he did hand himself in. I know that sounds insane to say, but he did hand himself in fairness. So hopefully he feels a bit of remorse and some guilt for it. But in fairness, he did the right thing. The fellow that did this in Cavan, thankfully the girl was still alive, of course, which is in a very bad way. He hit the girl to go looking for him. They had to go and chase him down for a week. But at least the other fellow had the decency to hand himself in to do the right thing. But he's not. Of course, that should not let him off the hook. Of course. But I suppose we get started. So yeah, just as we were speaking about deaths on the roads, so I was going to speak with the National Children's Hospital first, but I'll just touch on this because there's a serious amount. Last Saturday, 4 people were killed in the country on the roads. It was insane. People just been killed left, right, and centre. There was 2 people dead in Donegal actually in a traffic collision. I don't have much details on it, but there was 2 people dead this morning. In Donegal, like it's serious, and a lot of it's speed. And people are not going anywhere. That's the thing. People are speeding and they're not going anywhere. And a lot of it's distractions too for phones, etc. That's what's causing a lot of the hassles too, and it's causing a lot of the deaths. People not paying attention in a lot of cases. But going back just to the cavan incident, so this fellow had no insurance. First of all, was well known to the guards. Only after coming out of prison from an armed robbery charge a year ago. So he's pretty much only out the door prison. He's going to go back into it. But basically, he had no insurance, he had no tax, he had no nothing on the car. And he just ran away. He left his car and ran away, and he left his passenger. His passenger was injured too, because the girl went on top of the window and caused injury to his passenger. And he just fled the scene and left his passenger too. Like, just shows you how much he cares for him too. He just left him. But he's up in court now. But the girl he had to go looking for him. He went on the run for the last week. But this is the thing. They found him in his wardrobe. They raided his house, right? They knew where he lived, of course. He's well known to the Gardaí. But it took them a week to find him, to get him. Because I think he only went back to his house there recently. But he was in his wardrobe. He was hiding in his wardrobe when the guards went in and got him. So yeah, it didn't. You think he would have handed himself in, but he didn't. He's going to face some serious charges, but the judge will probably let him off with it, unfortunately. That's the sad thing about this. But he's remanded in custody, so, but he shouldn't probably get off because he has a lot of convictions. I could nearly say it's about 10, 15 convictions. Very serious convictions, just to say, not like robbing a box of biscuits. As I said, the last charge he was in for an accomplice in an armed robbery. He was a getaway driver on an armed robbery, which is very serious, with guns, etc. And he gets out and does this. And driving the car around with no tax or no insurance, very serious stuff. And nearly killing the woman, just to say too, and then fleeing the scene. Like very serious stuff. We're not talking about minor offences. This is very serious offences. But hopefully he gets a few years. What I mean by that is probably should go for the next 50 years to prison for the rest of his life anyway. Because he's in his 30s. He's in his late 30s. So if we send him for 50 years, he'll be getting out when he's 80 or 90. If he lives that long. But that's probably where he should be going for the rest of his life anyway. Because I don't think he's going to change his attitude towards society, considering he's been in out of prison a lot for these crimes, for the stuff. But this is very serious, of course. But yeah. I don't know what happened to Mead, but I know that the fellow handed himself in to the Gardaí, and in fairness, he did do the right thing. But I don't know, was it an accident that he didn't see her? Maybe it was an accident because in fairness, he did do the right thing, but I don't know. We're supposed to wait and see. But definitely this fellow was being careless. Probably was speeding. We don't know, I suppose. But he probably was speeding and he wasn't paying attention. And that's what happened in Cavan, I say. He doesn't seem to have any regard for anybody in society, in my opinion. Could be wrong on that, but I'd say he was speeding. But it is a bendy road. Like, it is a bendy road. I know the road well. But, I don't think it would have been possible for him to knock somebody down. Unless he was just speeding and it didn't stop in time. That's the only thing. Unless he was distracted. But yeah, just moving on to the National Children's Hospital. Just to do the National Children's Hospital in Dublin. So we already have spent billions on it. We already spent 4 billion on it. So the government are giving another 100 million towards it. What do I mean by that? 97 million. So yeah, will it be finished this year? Who knows? But long story short, not a hope. It's going to go on for another 6 years, maybe before they even finish it. So yeah, they're giving 97 million towards it. Even though it will cost 4 billion, like it's probably going to be a bill of 5. Like every day, it's more money and more money being spent on it. It could be 6 billion by the whole lot when it's all said and done. The most expensive hospital in the world. Like, it's insane. Like, these people who built this hospital probably should be arrested and sent to prison themselves. Because it's just a big farce. Like, it's just a total farce. That is not even open to patients yet, right? It's madness. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just a money hole, basically. Excuse my language, but that's pretty much what it is. Give me a moment. Let me see. Everybody's gone to sleep, are they? What there was something else I was going to say, but yeah. So what do we think? Do we think the National Children's Hospital is going to be open this year? Because not a hope. I know they're saying they'll probably be open by the beginning of next year. That's what they're saying at the moment. But look, they say an awful lot, but they say nothing at the same time. Also, yeah. Speaking of the by-election coming in May, actually, the Monk Hodge, Jerry the Monk Hodge, put out a video today, and he's trying to get people to register to vote in Dublin, in that Dublin area, in Dublin Central. So we see how that goes, but it seemingly what I've been told too, that a lot of his people who are campaigning for him are going door to door and getting people to sign up, because a lot of people in the north in the city, again, they wouldn't. A lot of them didn't go through education. A lot of them probably left halfway through primary school, etc. It's a very impoverished area. So they're going around house to house getting people to register to vote. It's like what Fianna Fáil used to do back in the day. Fianna Fáil used to collect people from their house and bring them to vote because they'd be voting Fianna Fáil. And Fine Gael used to do too. I don't know if people remember that. I remember them actually going to, well, not me going to vote, but I remember my parents bringing me to vote. And this is not long ago, but it's a while ago. But it must be sometime before the crash, anyway, before 2008. And they're bringing me, and there was Fianna Fáil people outside, wanting my parents to vote Fianna Fáil. And that's not too long ago. That's before the financial crash, so that's not many moons ago, I suppose, too. And I remember them too. He used to be outside the church. He used to go to mass, and he used to be outside the church looking for money for Fianna Fáil. Like, whatever about charity, whatever about Cancer Society or suicide prevention, etc. But Fianna Fáil looking for money outside the church. But that did happen, and thankfully it stopped. But it's not that long ago. It should have never been allowed to happen, of course. But sorry, give me a moment. Sorry, this is the worst thing about being a live stream. Give me one moment. What was it going to say? Give me a moment. The 100 things going on at the moment. Where am I now? Sorry. Sorry, apologies. I'm doing a few things here, so just give me a second. See, everything always happens when I'm live. Like, if I was sitting here all day, nothing would happen. But as soon as I do anything, like, something happens. It is a joke. It's a total farce, if you ask me. Everybody's very quiet. Let me see. Yeah, sorry, apologies about that. I had to message that person. This is the worst thing, because people message you and you feel like, I don't want to leave them on red for an hour or so when you're live streaming and stuff. What is this? A Sinn Féin councillor has called for Awana Féin to be made mandatory as part of the school curriculum. Sinn Féin, actually, what? Irish nationalism, excuse me? Since when? What is the results in this poll? Sorry, just seeing this now. Oh, it seems like everybody's far right. It's all quiet, definitely, but yes. How are we doing now? And I hope you're doing well. But we're just seeing this from the Shinners. Some Sinn Féin councillor wants us to learn the national anthem in primary school. Not me, obviously, but yeah, it's actually something Sinn Féin is actually they finally put their head out of the arse. But obviously there must be something behind this because Sinn Féin, that's far right extremism. To sing the national anthem, we couldn't have that. Going by the media, so that's probably what the media is going to phrase that. But we used to sing it actually. Like I don't know, but now, but when I was in national school, we used to sing it before assembly. Uh, but I don't know. We probably don't do it nowadays. That'd be considered racist. Um, you know, what is this yap? Does anybody know actually that? Just anybody know? Does anybody have any like kids in school or what they call it? Like any no, not grandparents, not grandchildren, but people even they know. I'm out of here. I'm bringing the fair to the airport. No bother, John. Thank you for stopping by. We chat again. I appreciate you being here. Have a good rest of your night, and I suppose enjoy your affairs, etc. Hope you have a good lot of affairs tonight. Thank you again. Thank you, John. Take care. I'm not feeling the Irish yet. Like I could sing it, but I wouldn't. I'd probably blow up the place. But no, we used to sing it at the assembly. I don't know if the Jews used to do it. I know you might be a bit younger than me. Well, not younger than me. You'd be a bit older than me. Yes, and you're so older than me. You're so ancient. But no, and it was weird actually. Just speaking about ancient and stuff. When I was younger and stuff like that, people in their 20s and their 30s were ancient. Nowadays when you're that age, people you look at yourself and you don't want to say you're ancient. But that's the way people were seeing it years ago when I was younger. You think people in their 30s are ancient. But like we used to sing the national anthem, at assembly and stuff. But Sinn Féin's talking about loan the national anthem. Did I loan the national anthem? Did we have a class where we loaned the national anthem? Did we do that? It's quite possible we did. I'm just trying to take. I can't really remember, but we must have loaned it somehow because we couldn't just magically appear the words in front of us. So but did Jews have that at least now? Like in your time at school, whenever your time was, we're not going to call people ancient now. I'm too distracted today too. There's people message me and and that's just the worst thing because I could sit here literally all evening and nobody would message me. But as soon as I do something, somebody comes along and says, "Oh yeah, about this yoke." But yeah, so we see what happens. Sinn Féin, ups us up, and that's what Sinn Féin are not doing it for the goodness of their health. So they definitely have some kind of agenda somewhere. They might be confusing the Irish national anthem for something else. That could be what they're doing. But yeah, no, moving on actually from that. Did anybody see Crime Call? It was apparently on Monday night. There's a video literally gone around the world of an incident in Cork. I don't know if people have seen it. I've shared it on my community post. Very serious thing. So apparently it was probably an asylum seeker or somebody that came here. We don't know who he is. We don't know his name. We don't know where he's from. But whoever he is, he's very brazen and he has no respect for anybody. Because this random woman was walking down the street. The unprovoked. This woman literally was walking down the street and he was walking down the street. And she didn't say anything. Like she didn't. I wouldn't mind if she said something to him that made him angry or something like that. But it still didn't give justification to hit her. But he just goes up and smacks her in the face. Like there's something with her eye socket. Yeah, but I don't know who he is. But I suppose we have to wait and see who he is first because the Gardaí can't find him. And this was back in November, so why did they sit so long? Like, why did we not see this before? Like, why did the Gardaí wait a few months? Like, we're talking about now February, the end of February. This happened in November the 24th, I think it was. Yeah, November the 24th. So why did it take the Gaudi so long to put out this video? You think they would have put it out long ago. But hopefully they'll find him because it has gone viral. Because it's so brazen. Like, it'd be different if the woman said something and made him very angry, but still wouldn't justify what he did. It still doesn't justify hitting a woman or hitting anybody. Unless she literally attacked him first, but that didn't happen, of course. She just literally was walking down the street and he just, I don't know what notion he took, but he decided to hit her for whatever reason. I don't know why. But it was just one of those random, I suppose, random attacks. But still, I don't know. But I don't think he's Irish, as far as I know. It could be somebody else, but it could be wrong. But I don't know. But yeah, we were just talking about that earlier on. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier on. He has 24 previous convictions, and he hit 11-year-old. And just to say, when he was hit that 11-year-old, he was on bail already. He already assaulted somebody else, so he was on bail. And the judge called him a talented musician and let him out on bail. He let him back out. A fully suspended sentence. So apparently now you can go around and just beat up children, and the justice system doesn't want to know about it. Beats me. Because that sends a terrible message around society. You know, that you can go and hit a 11-year-old in the face and get off with it. Like, quite literally got off with it. He didn't even get a fine. He just got a fully suspended sentence. And the judge called him a talented musician. You know, like, what? So, yeah, it's a joke. And especially because he was already out on bail when he done this, you know. Like, he was on bail. Like, it should have been a lot more serious because he was on bail for another assault, which is insane. But the problem is there's not enough space in the prisons. There's no space to put these people. When was this? When was it? I know it was up a while ago. Don't know when it was. About a month ago, maybe. I can't remember exactly. See, there's that much stuff happening in this country nowadays. It's hard to keep track of everything. I know he was up for something to do with people before profits. It's one of them people. I don't know what. I think it was during the election or something. I think he pulled what was it? What do you call the baton? A Gouda baton. I think it was. Well, it might have not been a Gouda baton, but you know what I mean. This fellow, yeah, it's just to say Boko eye socket, whoever he is. Yeah, I seen that. I know about that. But is it still up going through the courts, or is it finished? Do we know what's happening there? Because I heard about it, but I haven't kept up to date with it. I know about your man in Wicklow. I can never take the. Can never think of him, but Loco, something Loco. I can't remember his name, but yeah, something like that. Yeah, Loco. That was the court case to do with Loco. What do you call it? Ursula Levon from Web and News was here doing that. Not here on cam, but down there doing that. I seen the video of that. I think that's to do with Loco. And what was it? It was a law that was never used before. Like, it was something to do with him saying something online about an asylum seeker or something like that. It's hard to remember exactly word for word, but something like that. It's Coco's law. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what he said exactly, but he did say something. And again, I know about it. I don't know exactly all the details. If that makes sense. I will look into it. That's why I haven't said anything, because I don't know much about it. I heard about it, but I haven't looked into the full details. Because looking into a lot of these things, it takes hours to figure out. Yeah, how did this all start? You know, it's a nightmare to try and get time to do all that. But everybody's up before the cops. What was he's up for harassment of a girl. I know about that. I don't know how he harassed her, but certainly on social media or something like that. Or probably to do with a video or something. He probably took a video of her. I know it's a woman gout, so I don't know what exactly that is. I know about that, and he was in court a while ago too, Derek Beloy. He stole from a charity shop. He took, I think it was clothes and stuff. I think it was theft. That's what he charged. I don't think he wasn't put to prison or anything, but I think it was just a fine. It's hard to remember everything. Um, if my mind serves me right, um, like in this country, you would need 700 brains to remember everything. Like every day is just it's just madness. Um, um, what was I going to say? So did we see the video from Grip Media yesterday on another subject? To do with the Minister for Media, Patrick O'Sullivan, and over the Office of Public Works too. Now, this is to do with pretty much the misinformation, disinformation that the government want to crack down on. Now, Ben Skellen asked him a very honest question. Was there any kind of looking about, um, trying to how would I put this? You understand, would this affect people's freedom of speech? Because again, who would decide what's misinformation? Of course, say for example, if something like literally happened, and you're denying, that this happened, and literally everything, every evidence of the sun is there to show that this happened. Say for example, I don't know, you're denying the weather, like it's raining. Say for example, you're saying it's not raining, it's sunning, it's snowing, even though it's like literally raining, like heavily, something like that. Even though that's minor, but take for example an incident that literally all the facts are established, but still this person will keep going on saying, yeah, oh yeah, this person from done this and this person done that, Um, but it's hard to know, and Patrick O'Sullivan was asked by Ben Scallon, was there any kind of assessment on freedom of speech? How would this affect people's freedom of speech? Um, and he said no. They never even thought about it. Oh, well, they did think about it, they don't care. We maybe should look about would this affect people's freedom of speech and freedom to express themselves, but they never did. So it shows you how much they care about people's freedom of speech, and that's literally nothing, unfortunately. So yeah, so do watch that video if you get a chance, because it's very telling. It's very telling what the whole agenda is of the government, and what's the view on it, I suppose, in the way too. I don't know if the people see that video, these know what I'm talking about. I might not have explained it well. The deadline is I haven't heard that now, to be totally honest with you. But there's that much going on, as I say. It's insanity. What is going on here now? But yeah, no, you need 7 minds. But I'll probably hear about it come up eventually, I say. I know I still haven't heard anything yet about it. But I keep a lookout now after you telling me. I probably will turn up eventually to let me know. Well, not the thing itself, but I hear about it eventually. I'll see something about it soon. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. What is this? Yap. Yeah, people yap. I was very confused that was happened. So it is good news too, actually, to talk about. So this is to do with travelling between Ireland and the United Kingdom. This is to do with Aer Lingus and Ryanair, etc. That Irish citizens will have to show a valid passport or ID card travelling between Ireland and the UK, and of course for UK citizens too. Now, you might not have known this. I never was in the United Kingdom, the actual United Kingdom. And like people from Ireland and the United Kingdom, of course, can travel back and forth as much as they please with the common travel area. Of course, that's what they can do. Like they don't even ask for passport. I've often heard of people going on Aer Lingus and Ryanair to London and to Birmingham. God bless them, but to Manchester particularly. And they never would look for their ID. They never would look for their passport. They just show they have an Irish passport. You just show the symbol at the front, like the harp, and they'll let them straight through. They wouldn't even look at it. So it's good that they are checking, because unfortunately, there's probably people coming from the United Kingdom to Ireland and stuff. They shouldn't be here. They should, and they probably have criminal records, etc. Like there's not been checked, so it's only sensible that the least just have a look at it to see, are you the person that you should be. Um, you know, so we see how that goes. So that's pretty much from today, pretty much tonight. Sorry. So that's going to be good. I don't know what affect people. Like, was if Sean's still here, he probably was off on the plane to England. Like, I never went to England, so it'd be interesting to know that ever happened. Like, I've heard people talking about it before. Like, I know one person from Cavan. They go up to Belfast. They went up to Belfast. They were going to Scotland for the week, and they went to Belfast. They got a plane from Belfast to Edinburgh. Why now, of course. And they wouldn't even ask for their passport. They wouldn't even ask at all. So they pretty much went through Belfast and wouldn't ask at all to even look at the passport. Which in my opinion, it shouldn't happen. You should be looked at anyway. Regardless of what country you go to, even with the common travel area. Of course, they shouldn't need a visa and stuff. I'm not saying they shouldn't need visas to come into Ireland. Same with Irish people going to the United Kingdom. But exactly which. But no, did that ever happen to you? Like, just saying, because I never was in England. I went on the plane to the United Kingdom itself. What is this yap? Sorry, somebody else yapping now. Not you, but I'm telling me someone else. What is Week of Poker giving out on? Slam the news in the dinner. What is this going on? It's just fucking war. What is this yap? What? Sorry, I'm reading something else here. Government is looking for what? Okay, I've just lost the word to read that. No, sorry, it's just about Week of Poker, the Minister of Cities. She's talking yap. Jesus, nobody's here today. Nobody. I presume nobody got notifications. I seen that. Yeah, I seen that actually earlier on. Yeah. I don't really mind. You can meet all I want. That. As long as because it's better for them to come here than it is for him to go to there, because we would pay for it. What else was I going to say to you? Did people see the match in the League of Ireland? I know you were talking to there only. It was quite a serious thing that happened in Dundalk, between Dundalk and Drogheda. Like 12-year-old boy was hit in the head with a flare. And not even that. Not even that. The pitch was quite literally burned. Like, so that's hundreds of thousands of euro in damage, pretty much, because a lot of the AstroTurf is like burned, like literally burned in with the flares. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands euro. I think it's about 200,000 euro in damage. And that's a lot. The 200,000 is a lot of money, especially because we're paying for it. And it was only maybe 5 or 6 people doing it. And that was it. It's only about 5 or 6 people doing it, but it only takes a small minority to cause this trouble. But my question is, where was the Gardaí? Was the Gardaí asleep? Was there any guards at all there? What were they doing? Were they in bed, or where did they go? Because they probably should have been Gardaí there, because presumably there probably wasn't. As far as I know, What the fuck? I've lost the will. Um, yeah, but they're still dangerous. Yeah, but they, like that poor young lad, he could have had his whole head burned off. Yeah, get carried away. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, the Gaudi probably should have dealt with it because they probably shouldn't even had the chance to throw too many because there was a lot of flares. There must have been about 20 flares. So it wasn't like you think the Gaudi would have put a stop to by the throwing one of them. Do you think the Gaudi would have been on top of them? Because if they misgendered somebody, um, that'd be the end of them basically. They would be arrested for hate speech and locked up. Um, and Keir Starmer would arrest them for thought crime. Speaking of Keir Starmer, it's not going well with him. What is this? Yep. Yeah, it's very noticeable. Like it's they're talking about it with 200,000 anyway. Like it's a lot of damage. Like it's really, really a lot of damage because they have to take it all up pretty much. They have to literally take it all up because it's that badly burned. Give me a moment. Sorry, there's too much going on these fucking days. And I wouldn't mind if I sat here and literally done nothing. Nothing would happen. But as soon as I literally go to do something, everything happens. It's a disgrace. Um, yeah, like I have. You probably know more about the League of Ireland than I do. Like some people, like, is there a League of Ireland? Like I often have people say, like, is there such thing? Um, yeah, sorry. Apologies again. I'm getting distracted. Me getting distracted nowadays is disgraceful. Um, I presume notifications didn't go out tonight too. Um, because I think it was Gordon. Yeah, Gordon was telling me yesterday. Oh no, the other day. Yeah, he didn't get notifications the last few nights. Excuse me, apologies. And he was upset that he's not getting notifications and stuff. Um, told the vision at least. I don't think so. There's no money, and I don't think Cavan people are interested. I don't think they care. It costs too much money, and we don't have the money in Cavan, and there's no money. So they say. So they keep telling me. But yeah, yeah. So we just chat among ourselves because we could go on to other stuff tonight, but I think we'll leave it there. We're not leave it there entirely. We go for another few minutes, but we're not getting into any more major things tonight. It's unfortunate again. It's a shame, but I don't know how we're going to fix these notifications. Um, because it is a nuisance. Um, let me see now. What is the story? So yeah, any other news? Anybody? Any other crack? Any banter? I was going to say something else, can't remember now. Jeez, I'm telling you, I'm getting old. Talk about Joe Biden. Let me see. Where the fuck am I to? Um, oh yeah, just the last thing I say actually, because I meant to talk about this and I didn't. This is to do with Tusla. Now, as we know, Tusla is a very reputable agency. Said no one. Tusla staff pretty much are not being properly documented. What I mean by that is they don't have the qualifications to have the job. In some cases, knocked out or vetted. So they're working with children they're knocked out or vetted, and in a lot of cases, probably they're just turning up and they're not looked into. Um, so there you go. Great stuff. My team. Too slow up to the old shenanigans. The black and tans. Oh no. Yeah, I still remember the time he said to the BBC, any comment for the BBC, Mr. Biden? I'm Irish. Proceeds to start singing, come out. Proceeds to start singing, come out your black and tans. Joe Biden. British Royal Navy ships will be allowed to patrol Irish waters. Great stuff. Fucking mighty. The land of Wiley. It's over, yeah. But anyway, it's a pity. The notifications don't work nowadays. It's a pity. I don't know how you would fix. How would you fix that? I didn't put it up today that it was going to go live. Probably the best thing is to try and have a schedule. See, the good thing about me leaving my job, I would have a lot more time now to what do you call it? Have a lot more time to make a schedule and stuff like that. It makes any sense. But we have to look into that when the time comes. Where is my tablet gone? Sorry. Oh, it's right behind me. So, I got a notification telling me that I was live, but nobody else got it. Isn't it great? But anyway. But yeah. Actually, the other thing I want to say, actually, of course, Santa Mountain, I'm sure we all heard the news, has got a big award from Ukraine. What's it? The Order of the Princess of older, yeah. First class, sorry. So yeah, very high award, winning all the awards. Medal, sorry, not award. You can call it award too, but it's supposed to be the right word to use as a medal. So yeah, Micheál Martin's very jealous. Oh my Jesus Christ. Oh my Jesus Christ. Keir Starmer is doing a press conference for content creators. Wow. Jesus Christ. The Office of Public Workers talking shit. What is new there? No, but he's bringing in content creators like Twitch streamers and YouTubers and stuff into the Downing Street and doing a press conference to them. Of course, this is all to try and buy them to be Labour Party spokespeople. because a lot of them might have opinions, and it might be a question the narrative, etc. And we couldn't have that. We couldn't have that. Um, so yeah, that's what Stalin is up to at the moment. It's a pity they didn't invite me. It would be great. Um, ask very tough questions. But unfortunately, there was no questions allowed. Because somebody might ask a Willa question. But yeah, so it's a joke. The whole fucking place is a joke. It's a disgrace. So yeah, and I can't wait for me Hal Martin to do this. Like, it's going to be just a mess. Um, of course, yeah, great stuff. Well, they always are here. Anyway, back to Mr. Ron. But yeah, so yeah, probably on Commission them on is probably fucking me over in some ways. Um, because YouTube system, particularly notifications and stuff, is just a joke. Of course, there's probably because on Commission them on has huge reach in terms of because all the companies are here in Ireland, like Google and stuff is all here in Ireland. So there's probably nudge, nudge, wink, wink to try and shut people up. Because of asking too many questions. Particularly me, I've said a lot about Israel, etc. And you're not allowed to talk about that. And then a few other things you're not allowed to talk. But like I pushed the boat out too much, to be totally honest. Um, the only thing about that is you could drown yourself pushing the boat too much out. If you get my drift. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh yeah, they hit the new Toy Story um, movie is coming out soon. I know, such amazing commentary. Talk about the new Toy Story movie, but yeah, it's coming out in April. Apparently, everybody's just fucking hyped about it. Like, just looking at it online, it's just everybody's talking about it. Like, apparently, the government's like literally the Epstein files have been hid from people. And of course, there's load of pedophiles, etc. Running your lot of the countries in the world. But yeah, the Toy Story movie, that's top priority for a lot of people. It just goes to show you where people's priorities are. But yeah, I suppose whatever floats the boat, I suppose. But yeah. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? Good evening. How are we keeping this evening? Hope we're well this Wednesday evening. Um, so we see, how that goes. But apparently, it's probably going to do very well, going by what people are saying, because there's a lot of people interested in it. Like the Melania Trump movie, just speaking about movies, just when I'm here, the Melania Trump movie is terrible. Like, it's not even the movie, it's more a documentary. But it's awful. Like, it quite literally, it's awful. Um, um, and everybody pretty much has said that. Like, I think the studio, like in Dublin, it was premiered and stuff, and there was only about 10 people there. It's desperate stuff. But anyway. I think that's us for tonight. I think that's all she wrote for tonight, unfortunately. It's a pity YouTube notifications are acting the maggot. But so what I'm planning to do at some stage. We're going to do a quiz at some stage. Don't know when this is going to be. We're still in the early stages. I've meant to say this the other night, but we are kind of getting there. It's taking time. We're going to do a quiz. It probably not be for another 2 months anyway, or 3 months before we get around to finishing it, because there's an awful lot of questions. So we'll probably do that at some point. But basically, it's in the works. So within the next probably 3 months, at most 3 months. So we're talking about probably beginning of April. Yeah, beginning of May, probably we'll be doing it, or sometime the end of April. So hopefully notifications and stuff will be working for that time, because it'd be a bit of fun for people. The community of event, let's put that way. How does that sound to people? Would anybody be interested actually in joining? I'm not going to say what it's about yet, but would anybody be interested in it? Of course, we can only have 3 people in it, unfortunately, too, so we have to only pick 3 people. There's only 3 spots and there'll be 3 prizes, basically. Good, yeah. As I say, it's still in the early stages. We're kind of just working on it now. It's going to take a while. It is going to take a while, but we get there. But hopefully, notifications again. My point is, hopefully the notifications will be working. Like we will say beforehand when we're going to do it, but we won't give like a week's notice. It'll be only a few days' notice. But yeah, so hopefully that we should walk out by May, or even the end of April. We should get it going. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here, especially because again notifications are not working, etc. A lot of people might be saying I meant to come in and stuff like Gordon and stuff. Would be upset that he didn't get the notifications. Same with Fiona and Saoirse too would be very upset that he didn't get the notification. But what can you do? YouTube doesn't like you. But yeah, thank you, Evan. I appreciate you keeping up with Evan only, of course. Sean, if he's still here. Of course, Brick is here too. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here, and of course, Catherine too, if he's still here. I appreciate he's been here because especially notifications and stuff are just simply not working and stuff. So I appreciate it, keeping me company. It's good instead of talking to somebody instead of talking to yourself. Turn into the politicians because that's pretty much who the politicians are talking to themselves in a lot of cases. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We'll chat again hopefully Saturday night. All going well, of course. Probably about 6:30, give or take. That's probably when we'll be live again Saturday night. So for the moment, everyone, thank you and appreciate it. We'll chat again and enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll chat again Saturday. Thank you.